Mahala Monday time. Welcome to Mahala Monday. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Dugald. As always, she's here. She's sitting. She's not complaining about the cold today. Probably because it's not that cold. I don't know. It is. Rhoda's here, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, Dugald.
how's
Welcome
it?
to Dugald. I am getting colds. Yeah, I am getting cold. It took me some time to take my jacket off, but I'm good now. I'm climatizing, like they would say. Definitely.
Fantastic, fantastic. Acclimatize as much as you have. Anyway, so really great to have you along with us, and thank you very much for choosing us, Mahala Monday. We would like you, of course, to subscribe. In case you haven't done so, please do us the big honor. Please, 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 please subscribe and share this. It is brilliant. Interactive show as always, so we welcome your questions and comments. And oh boy, do we have a guest tonight.
Yes, we do. Definitely, definitely. You know, and we've actually had her before.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, we're quite excited because always when we have one of our older guests that we've had before, it always makes us happy because, you know, it's always good to see them and actually just reconnect.
Yeah, no, it is. And of course, we're talking about the one and only Lisa Bell. Now, before we get Lisa on, let me just, do you know that she actually did, as like a teenager, she started writing novels?
Oh, wow.
I should ask her that.
We should. And I think that's all girls kind of always read all these novels when they were younger. So I mean, actually to go and write one, well done, Lisa.
Yeah, she did that. But obviously, there's somebody with an entrepreneurial background. There was an insurance brokerage involved at one stage. So, you know, somebody that really knows what it takes to take the bull by the horns. But, of course, yeah, it is really the brain's trust and the motivation and everything behind the word magazine. And of course, her brand has been there to help and aid organizations one word at a time, which is the slogan from the word architect, which is what it's all about. Now, the person behind all of this is Lisa, and I know there's going to be 1,000,000 questions. So keep those questions and comments in. But joining us tonight here on Mahala Monday, just on the back end of the August month, Lisa Bell, welcome back to Mahala Monday. How are you?
How's it, everybody? I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. Thank you for having me back.
Absolute pleasure. It is really
definitely.
great having you back. Thanks for coming back. And as we mentioned, of course, yeah, you've been on already. Now, for those people who might not, that might have missed that previous show, the last time you were here, and where we discussed your brand, we discussed the agency and everything around that in the word architect. But for anybody who missed it, Lisa, please just give us a quick overview of everything it is that you do.
Awesome, thank you. I'm not going to tell you everything I do because it's not. But the word architect has been my baby for the last couple of years, and we are a digital marketing agency. We like to think that we touch on all the digital areas and points that need to be touched on in terms of being a business owner and a brand. And so that's your social media, your design, your websites, and we like to play with everyone's digital bits whenever we can.
That sounds yeah, that sounds really cool. And of course, where you are, we can see some covers and everything that has been there. But before we really get onto it, because actually at the top of the show, and there's something I think we mentioned the previous time as well, and I just want to take you back a couple of weeks, maybe 2-3 months extra. Just want to take you back. But as a teenager, and this is just a sideways question, you wrote, authored novels. Yes?
Well, not 100%. I started writing as a teenager. As a lot of teenagers, you know, might have written little stories and things, and I never really took it much further than that. But the ripe old age of 30-something, I can't even remember, I decided to actually write a novel. And so I published my first novel in 2010 and then 2 others following that. And I have a 4th one, not a novel, short story, a 4th publication coming up. So yeah, I just, that's my way of expressing. In fact, that's how the word architect started, was through words and the love of creating stories with words.
And that was actually going to be the next question, because I mean, this is obviously a passion-driven project, and you started all of this in 2015.
Yes, correct. Yes. At the time, I was actually running 2 businesses. two businesses. The one was just Lisabel, the writer. And so I used to do freelance writing. And the other was I was a personal trainer. So it actually married each other up quite nicely. So at night I was writing, in the day I was training people. And then I decided to join a business network, and I was told you can only choose one business. And so I focused in on the writing, which I then came up with a name, and a very good friend helped me with that. And so the Word Architect was born. And initially we, as in the royal we, was just writing. So any copywriting. And with the way that the digital age has taken over, in fact, it was still there, but we kept only the words as our vehicle. We had to branch out into digital marketing, design, websites, publication, and anything. We just had to be more digital. It'd be more sort of available. And so the business has grown from just little old me to a core team of 4. But if you have a look on our website, you'll see we have many architects, creative architects, and that's the core way that we've grown, is to with the model of outsourcing wherever possible.
Yeah. And when it started out, sorry, Rhoda, when it started out, did you ever anticipate that it would move in this way?
No. In fact, a little side story was I was sitting doing my online writing, and I said to my husband, I said, I have no idea how I'm going to make more than this. And this was like 7,000 Rand. I don't know how I'm going to make more than this a month. He said, don't be ridiculous. You can do it. And he being a very big inspiration for me. And and that was 10 years, and I can't tell you the numbers, but definitely not 7,000 Rand a month. But yeah, I think just the team has been amazing. I mean, we have just an amazing content creator, Angie Frankel, and we have an amazing designer, Kristen Morganroot, and then all the others that are part of our team are just, chosen very carefully. And so this is not possible without those.
Oh, yeah. No, excellent. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. And that's the kind of story I like, because it really inspires people to sort of take up the thing, and especially when they have that, amounts of passion for something, to really just explore it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then just looking at your website there, I mean, we've got it screened there. And the one thing that's obviously new now, and that's basically started, was the Word magazine. So looking at that, we just want to get more information regarding that. And how did it all start? Where did it start?
So it actually started with a conversation with my designer, Kristen, who had worked in a publication house prior. And I said, I think we should start a magazine. And it was just like a whim. And so we just started to, in fact, it was created as a vehicle for our clients and just another place for them to be marketed. And so the very first ones you'll see is very much a lot of our existing clients at that time, not charging them, part of the whole package, just part of our retainer. And then we realized we were enjoying it. And we just started putting our feelers out. And so now I'm always looking out, who's our next cover? Who's our feature? That's how it was born, as a vehicle. But I do want to take it way further than that. And so magazines are not dead. They went through a hard time through COVID, especially printed. Ours is pure digital. And I think we'll more than likely keep it that way. We have more room, when you're digital. Printing can be not only expensive, but just limiting.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's very simple. So how do they just go to the wordmag.co.za in order to get the magazine?
Exactly. So the magazine itself is free to download.
Beautiful.
And we use a really great platform. So it's almost like a flippable, like you literally got a book or a magazine interview, so you can flip through it. It works well on all devices. That we've obviously taken that into account. So if you're on your phone, your iPad, or your computer, you can read it. And I think it's bite-sized pieces of information that's just enough to sort of, get you interested in reading it. And you can come back to it later, read another article. What we will be doing in the future is looking at podcasting the interviews that we do with our covers. And what is happening right now is that Nickay Productions is also part of the team, and they're going to be doing all the interviews for all our covers. So I've just taken that away from you.
I was just going to say.
Not to forget about it, because that's a big growth step. Collaboration is how this business has grown, and keep doing that.
Yeah.
Definitely,
I
definitely.
like the fact that you say that it's a collaboration, how things grow, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that. But people who are now completely unfamiliar with the magazine, just give us a taste of what they would be paging through.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, my big thing was to keep it pure South African. And in fact, that's going to be our, we don't have a tagline, that is going to be our tagline going forward. Pure South African, from covers to features to contributors to advertisers. And so it's trying to speak to a South African audience in a South African environment, giving them, the tips and the information they need in order to run their businesses, whether they be an existing entrepreneur or whether they're looking to become one, or if they just want to keep up to date with what's happening in all the elements around business. So it is a business magazine, that has to be very clear. And then we have just taken a step into the international market, but purely from an audience perspective. So all our contributors and features will be then, will get the benefit of being exposed to 400 million plus readers across the world in 120 countries.
Oh, wow.
And that will be via an online platform called Press Reader. And there are many of those out there. We've chosen this one just because we liked the mix that they had. And we're excited to see what comes of that.
Oh, wow. You said 400 million readers.
That's a big number.
Wow. Wow.
That's the capacity the potential that the magazine has to read. I doubt very much we'll reach all of them because the readers are made up of various preferences, and so some will prefer business magazines, some will prefer more personal style, home, whatever. But it's the idea is that we have the potential to reach a bigger audience.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm just touching on the fact that obviously this automatically for us as South Africans get us out there, our people out there, our exposure. Am I correct?
Yeah, the world is that small that, you do business with South Africa, but you end up doing business with the rest of the world. The word architect itself started with just, within South African borders. And I would have to say that now at least over 50% of our business is done with international businesses.
Wow.
That's the idea.
Wow,
to make the distance a lot shorter for people to reach each other.
Definitely.
Sure. We're definitely going to talk more about the South African flavor, but Lisa, we do have a comment quickly that we just want to focus on that has popped up, and thank you for sending it. Mark Sauls, how's it, Mark? Mark says Lisa seems to have touched many fields in the work industry. The empire she's steadily growing is impressive. So it's that is great to hear as well. And thank you, Mark, for saying that. Thank you very much for saying that. And keeping with the sort of South African flavor, because the world's current cover star happens to be Siv Ngesi, and we had Siv on here on Mahala Monday a while back. But you've also had faces like Lyra was on there, Zoe Brown, many. You told us about Barry Hilton. There's been many faces on this. And of course, with all this collaboration, which is just absolutely brilliant that you do. But let me ask you this. I just want to jump ahead because these are iconic South Africans, and definitely South Africans that I think the whole nation just look up to. But what are the behind the scenes journey like? What is the process finding somebody to be on the cover? What are the boxes you got to tick? What makes you go, let's approach this person, or does this person come to you? How does that all work?
Sometimes it happens organically in that I'll happen to come across them, or again, of course, someone will recommend. Everyone has their own story on how it came about. I think besides how we do it is obviously constantly looking. And if I want to say, sometimes you may go look at that person and go, who is that? But in their own right, they are actually very successful. Siv is probably more well-known, but then there'll be others that you may not know because you may not be in their circle. But if you look at their connections and their reach is just amazing. And so I'm trying to also find those South Africans that are they're not quite there, but they could be. And so I want to be able to get that exposure as well. there's no specific criteria. They don't have to be beautiful. They all are.
Exactly.
They all are. It's like our photographer, our in-house photographer, Nickay, which I have to mention. She's done all our covers. She does make them look really rather dashing, but actually are all amazing in their own rights. So yeah, just a very big variety. We have no like strict criteria.
I've always wondered. That's why I'm just asking. I'm always wondering how somebody would. Yeah. How do you get to that?
I almost don't want them to be too famous. Not yet. Like maybe later on we'll do a redo. Like, oh, look where they are now.
I think you should. I think you should definitely. And then I just wanted to find out, obviously we spoke about the collaboration and one of the stuff obviously with Nickay as well, which is one of the new partners, which is obviously our company as well. That's obviously going to be doing the covers of the older covers that you've had and then interviewing some of them as well. I just wanted to find out the element of collaboration and mentorship. How did this aid your building your digital empire thus far? How has this aided helped you?
I think when we started this, we didn't really think too much about we definitely didn't think about, how we're going to make money from this, which I suppose maybe possibly is not the greatest model, but it really was built out of a design and creative energy. And I think it's going to get its own legs with effort and with, getting all those right pieces of the puzzle in place. But in terms of the journey and the learning, I think it's just been amazing to speak to people, learn about their stories, where did they come from, how did they get here? I think there's a lot of places and businesses such as yourself that do that on an ongoing basis. Put someone in the limelight and let them get their story. And so if we can find a way of doing that slightly differently, but still, just with some pizzazz, then we'll keep doing it. Actually enjoy.
And also because you touched on collaboration there, of course, and how important collaboration is. To have any sort of success, because by working together, things just move over a little bit quicker.
Absolutely. And, just to go back one step in terms of the type of people we choose to be in the magazine, whether they be a cover or a contributor, from a collaboration point of view, we don't charge. For those contributors and for the feature, we don't charge them. A lot of magazines actually charge to be on the cover or to have a space. But because we're wanting to grow, this is almost, if I may use the Ubuntu way of growing. It's bringing everyone together so that we all can. And that I think is something that I do look out for when I choose a cover. If I have to give you one criteria, I do look for that. And so we just ask very nicely that you please share it, mention it. And we don't just have, because it's quarterly, by the way, the magazine is quarterly. And so for the 3 months, that cover will be quite front and center. But we don't forget about our past covers. We continue to go back. What are they doing now? And especially if something is happening in their life, like they brought out a book or they're, doing something amazing, we do definitely keep in touch with them that way.
No, that is brilliant. So you got to go check it out. The Word magazine. You simply just go to the website. Very, very easy. Of course, wordmag.co.za. Lisa, it's so really great talking to you. I tell you what, there are more comments. I want to touch base with that as well. There's some more comments coming through that we would like to share with you. So we're gonna do this. We have one in. Look who it is. The good old dog who it is. Yeah, from Effect Consulting, who says, I really love and appreciate Lisa and her team. They have been instrumental in my business's growth. Epic group of ladies. Well, there you have it.
Well
that is.
Is that? I didn't catch you that.
That is from Karen Powell.
Karen Powell.
Of course, lovely Karen. Karen is one of our
also a lovely, lovely person. And then we wanted to touch on the fact that the Word Architect is going to go to the double digits, 10 years old soon?
Yes, correct.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was 10 years ago. Maybe I didn't mention that. 10 years ago, I started off on my own. And it has been an amazing journey because I think a lot of people, entrepreneurs especially, have that whole imposter syndrome where you don't think good enough or that you can actually do things. And so I've always partnered up with people that have the same vision, that we're able to support each other on that journey. As I've mentioned, the team that runs the Word magazine is the same team that runs and works within the Word Architect. So we have Angie and Kristen and Ashley and all our various contributors in terms of outsourced contributors there on the digital side. And then as a mentor, I have Karen, who you just mentioned, Karen Powell, and she's been hugely instrumental because you cannot, I don't believe, that as a business owner you can just sit alone and make it work other than your people that work with you and for you. You do need to have that person that will be objective, call you out, tell you when you're doing great, but also be very honest with you. So I have a few of those, my husband being one, Karen being another, my staff even, my staff. They actually are. They may think I'm a dragon at times, but they are very open to calling me out if things are right. And I'd like to think we have a very open relationship that way.
And that is I suppose the essence of a successful collaboration. It is to have the ability to do that. You find that people sometimes that don't want to do that. That I think generally people don't want to. They just like keep it in. But you've touched on it. When that does happen, there's a huge amount of growth and better understanding.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think you get to realize without having to do like a test or something. You can do obviously profile tests on people, but you can eventually, after what's been almost 25 years running my own businesses, is that you do pick it up within quite a quick time. I mean, in whether that person is on board in that manner or not. I think it's very important to make that the same values, same goal in mind. So yeah, absolutely. And of course there are people that don't, but they don't stay around long.
True.
It's very important that and I'm so glad that you say that, to have that sort of goals and values once those things are aligned. But there's another comment. There's another comment, Lisa. This is from Hubert. Hello, Hubert. Hubert says the best marketing is word of mouth marketing. Wonderful things can be achieved when collaborating. Collaboration makes us better. Exactly to what you've said.
Yes, absolutely. No, great. I mean, networking and just being with people, which is sort of an ironic thing because we run a business that helps people find their target audiences through a lot of non-referral style marketing. It's like, paid, organic media and digital, but there is huge value in just this personal connection. And of course, COVID put us out the picture in terms of any digital, which was great for our business. But now we seem to be stuck a little bit in that whole digital online meeting kind of vibe. And so there's often times when you just don't even meet anyone in person, and that can be lost a lot. But I think my point I'm trying to make is that the personal connections are very important. And
yeah.
Definitely
So
agree.
2025, 10 years. Now, obviously, it has grown to a level that you possibly, like you said, you possibly couldn't imagine. Now, obviously, you got some wonderful things that you're planning, some things in the pipeline. Where do you feel it will be once we reach to, let's say, 2030?
We should use 2030 as a year, because I definitely have a plan to take the business to a certain space and place. I would hate to really put a number or a size onto that, because I actually don't have that answer, and I'm actually in the process of trying to work out what does that look like. Because business can stay where they are and be very happy and go along and live almost that lifestyle type of business. But of course you can scale. I'm probably scaling. That's what I'm doing. I say probably because I know myself. And of course with that comes taking on more people and getting the right people on board, which is a tricky thing. So I don't have a definitive answer. I think maybe you'll have to interview me closer to 2030 again.
Definitely.
No, most obviously, yeah. I think that is what we'll do because, because I mean, it is very impactful. You know, the World Bank, it's an impact. It brings people together, and it does all these wonderful things that you would want it to do. So just from our side, let me just tell you that it's certainly hitting
Most definitely.
all the points that you're aiming for to hit.
Definitely. So,
If
yeah, you were saying?
If I may also just put it out there while we're still within our time, is that while the magazine is quarterly and every quarter we bring out a new cover, I am aiming for next year, and this could be if anyone listening in wants to be involved, is that we are looking to launch a special edition, which will be sports/business or sports people in business in a South African environment. And so what does that look like? We haven't decided who's going to be in it yet, but I'm very much looking for those sports personalities, big or small, that want to have their own space to speak their mind about their journey in sport and their journey in being business people in sport.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's
Lovely.
what's being planned for Word Magazine. I was saying next year, but I might need a little longer to put it together. But yeah, if all things go well, maybe the end of next year we'll launch our special edition.
You know, it is brilliant though because you have all these different people from different walks of life that do different things, and you hear these stories. And when it comes down to Joe Public, consuming the content that is available, it is amazing to hear that the sort of stories of successes and failures and whatever it is, and just the contribution from just so many spheres, and that really brings it down to its essence. And when you look at the whole sort of South African flavor that's in it, and as you said so eloquently earlier, the whole sense of Ubuntu, that is so empowering, really. And it really feels you feel great.
Yeah, absolutely. No, so that's our journey. That's where we want to go. We want to just keep growing in that manner.
Because I want to ask you this, and this might be a bit of an unfair question, because I mean, people will be watching you now, and they also like, I want to ignite my creative juices. How do I go this? They want to maybe follow a similar path, maybe not do exactly the same, but they, for whatever adventure lies ahead. What advice could you offer anybody?
In this industry or just generally?
But this industry or in general, for doing something that they would want to do.
Absolutely. Have a plan. I think a lot of businesses are started with a whim and a wish and a dream, but no plan. So having a plan, understanding the mechanics of business, because it's not for the faint-hearted. There are so many elements to running a business that once you're in it, you realize that you cannot do it all. And hence why a lot of businesses fail within the first year. So have a plan, surround yourselves with at least five people that fit your values, fit your goal, that are there not because they want to make anything out of you. They're there because they love you, support you, and want to see this grow and have something, come of it. And just keep checking into the human side, because everyone says, oh, I want to be, I don't know, an Amazon one day. And I'm like, no, don't actually, because what does that mean? It means taking out the human element. So I certainly don't want to go that route. Just understand what you want from the business and then go forward passionately and positively.
No, that is absolutely brilliant.
Well
Thank
said.
you. Lisa, any final thoughts from you? It's been so wonderful chatting to you, I must say. And any final thoughts from you before we let you go?
Because this was more about the magazine, I think the call here is that if you want to download it, go ahead. These editions are there. And of course, if you want to get involved, come get through. You'll probably speak directly to me, whatever that means to you. We have amazing regular contributors. I don't think we've got time for me to mention them all.
But please mention some.
Mention some, definitely.
Sure. So we have Richard Mulholland, and Richard is our vertical, which is You've Been Lied to. And so he tackles very pertinent topics every quarter, gives you a different angle on it. We have More Than Just a Container, which is Dion van Deventer. And if you don't know anything about small, tiny homes, you need to go check out of that because he does amazing things with containers.
Wow.
Beyond the Pose is Marika Herselman. She's a resident photographer. More recently, if I may just mention that straight behind that is Behind the Production, which is Nickay Productions, who is now September going to be their first article. We have What's His Flavor, which is Kim Duplessis of our salad mix. It's all about radio, but not the radio stations you might think of. So go and have a check there. Positive Vibes is our famous big positive guy, Andre de Toy, who just gives us positive vibes. It is South African flavor. Law Unto Herself is Robin, I never can say her surname, McMahon or something. And she's a legal eagle of the bunch. So if you've got business things you need to know from a legal perspective. And then we have Healthy Habits Hub, which is our own Ruan Retief. He is a magic man in terms of health and wellness and just, which needs to be tied in with everything else we do. Leadwell is Karen Powell or Dr. Karen Powell and Van Kuhn. They're a double act and they speak about, leadership from a Ubuntu perspective. That is all the contributors and amazing people.
Wow.
So I mean,
Wow.
The list you've mentioned there is a who's who of everybody.
Definitely representing
and we've got more verticals. We call them verticals that we fill that I feel are missing. And so if you feel like any of that isn't your thing and you think your thing will work, well, to chat to me then.
Yeah. And just to double check with you, of course, you go to wordbag.co.za and it's free to download. Quarterly it comes out. Yes?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant.
And then just a quick one, a sneak preview. I do believe there's 2 names that's going to be coming up soon as well.
Yes. September is Kevin Chaplin. May not be a household name, but he runs AE Foundation as well as Ubuntu Foundation, the Ubuntu Foundation. Does amazing man that does amazing things out there. So he's got a book out. Just go check him out. He's September. Yeah. And then in December, to end our year off, we have none other than Liesel van der Westhuizen, a little bit famous from KFM. She has her own business. Amazing lady as well. So we're looking forward to hitting the rest of the year and looking forward to who's next after that.
Definitely. I think before we let you go, there's comments I do believe that we just want to highlight quickly. Yeah.
Yes.
We have one here from Gillian Warner. Thank you, Gillian, who says, great advice, Lisa. Well done on all your achievements. Thank you very much, Gillian, for posting that. Absolutely wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you.
So, Lisa, thank you once again for your time. Thanks for being on Mahala Monday. It has been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. And, of course, look forward to chatting to you soon again.
Definitely.
Yes. Guys.
Thank
you so much.
That is Lisa Bell, everybody. So, you got to go check it out. This is the person behind the Word Architect, the Word Magazine. You got to go check it out. So, as she mentioned, of course, you go to wordbag.co.za. That's where you go. It's free to download, which is great. That's brilliant.
Free to download.
Quarterly publication. Yes, well, that's also wonderful. And you heard, of course, all the contributors. But, and if you want to get in touch, you want to find out more, wordbag.co.za, which is www.wordbag.co.za. And as you can see it's right here at the bottom.
So don't sleep on this one, guys. It's a free magazine. Go and have a look at it and get in contact if you need to be in the magazine as well, or just wanting to put some content there as well.
Yeah. What is really great is what Lisa was saying, it's like it's got that whole vibe of Ubuntu, and and she was talking of just the stuff that they've been doing, or she's been doing, in terms of collaborating with people. Yeah. And that gets you through to the next level. Definitely. And of course, business and all of these things is what they talk about.
Exactly. And you know what I found? I mean, we basically got together, some of us as well, obviously because we're in partnership as well. You know what stood out? It definitely was our values. You know, it was all aligned, and it's exactly what she said. You know, once you actually have your values in line and you're connecting, and you know, there's just this trust that gets built automatically, and it just flourishes from there, people. It definitely does.
But it's a great read, it's an interesting read, and more importantly, it is insightful, and it will definitely aid you. So that's why you got to go check it out. Wordbag.co.za, that is where you go, so don't miss it, and do so as soon as possible.
Yep.
Is that it from
That's
us?
it, Dougal. That's a wrap.
Thank you so much for watching Mahala Monday again. Thank you very much for being part of it. Thank you for the wonderful comments that came in. Thank you very much for that. We remind you and ask you kindly again, please, to subscribe and like and share this. And thank you very much to our special guest, Lisa Bell, as well, for joining us. Until next time. Cheers, everybody.